Hi everybody, today is Wednesday, Facebook Live Wednesday here on the Heal Facebook group. And I want to start off by welcoming all the new members that joined us this week. I'm very grateful that we're getting a lot of requests to join. We only exist since the first week of January and we're growing each week. So thank you for that and welcome to the group. And before we head into today's topic, I just want to remind you and ask you to engage in the group, participate, ask your questions, contribute. My goal with this group is really to provide you the value that you need, that you want, the information that is really helping you on your journey to more energy on a daily basis. This is my mission here with this group. And I want to help you and guide you along your way. So please don't be shy. Post your comments, your questions, everything that you are curious about, post it in the group. Engage on the posts that I'm putting out there. So I get a better feel for what you need, what you want help with, and what can really make a difference for you in your health journey. So let's talk about today's topic. Today we talk about insomnia, and I've also posted a blog post on my business page on butterflyholisticnutrition.ca, all one word, butterflyholisticnutrition.ca. And there's a blog section and you can read the blog there as well and find my recommendations there as well. Okay, so insomnia. This is a topic that I'm talking about often with my female clientele, with my female friends. And as we get older and we are in perimenopause or menopause, this is a topic that's really top of the mind. Everyone seems to struggle with sleep around that time, but so we know that that's hormonally related, right? We're changing and sleep is often a problem, but it can really happen at any age, for any group, men, women, kids. It doesn't really matter. Insomnia is really a general term of when we have sleep problems for whatever matter it is. And I just want you to ask yourself before you go to sleep, do you feel tired and wired before you want to go to sleep and then you can't calm down? For example, my daughter is like this. She's perking up at the end of the day and then she gets all chatty and she can't unwind. And then she stays up way longer than she's supposed to, right? So does that sound familiar to you? Maybe you're also too worked up to calm down. Maybe you just feel like you have too much energy or you're just so riled up mentally that your body just can't relax. Or you might also have an emotionally difficult time right now that you're going through traumatic experiences, or you have a lot of anxiety about what's going on in your life or globally right now. There are many, many reasons why we can have insomnia. And then, of course, as I said, the hormonal connection as well. As we get older and our hormones start to shift. So this is really something that can happen to all of us at any time. Even if we used to be really good sleepers and all of a sudden we're not, there's usually a reason behind why that's the case. And so my mentor, Alex Howard, recently said, and it totally resonated with me. He said, what happens at night is often a reflection of what's not being dealt with during the day. And that can apply to many things, right? It can apply to emotional things that we haven't dealt with. It hasn't dealt with us finding calming strategy, not having found the right tools to calm our stress down. Whatever it is, if we haven't dealt with it during the day, we might get to experience it just before we want to go to sleep. So, and that is especially true if emotions are behind your wiredness, right? If you have a lot of anxiety, if you're troubled, if you have some things that are really impacting you right now. Because, sleep is a natural state, right? It's a state of surrender. It comes to all of us naturally, and we don't need to do anything for it. That's how nature intended it for us. We're letting go, we're naturally letting go. We don't need to do anything for it. And then the body takes its time to restore and rejuvenate the body and repair everything that needs repairing. So that is how we're designed, and this is how it's supposed to be normally. So we don't have to do anything for it, but if we feel like that's not working right now, then this is something we need to look at a little bit more closely. So for example, you could ask yourself the questions, is your nervous system on a high-speed highway before bed? Like all of a sudden you have these huge ideas, big concepts, what if questions, worry about the next day, worry about what happened today, worry about news, worry about anything, and it's just getting worse the further you go along in the day. So that can be something that you experience. Also, what emotional state are you in at the end of the day? Have you just watched a very scary movie and it just made you worked up? Or a sad movie and you were crying all day, about things. So examining what state you're in before you want to go to sleep is also very, very important indicator. If you can't sleep, just check in with you. How are you actually feeling at this moment, and what happened that you feel like this at this moment? And then also what's happening in your physical body, right? So what I mean with that, for example, the nutrition piece can be a piece. Exercise, if you exercise late at night and you're just coming out of a high intensity exercise, your body is not ready to go to sleep right away, right? It needs to calm down again. If we talk about nutrition, for example, you can experience blood sugar imbalances, and that can be the reason why you can't go to sleep or can't fall asleep. It can be things like you're eating too late or not late enough, you're having too many carbohydrates, you don't have enough carbohydrates, you're not getting enough food, you're overeating. So the possibilities are really endless because we all have our unique design on what's good for us. So again, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. So I just want to invite you to play detective. If you suffer from insomnia, play the detective about your own triggers, what keeps you up at night, and really try and hone in what it could be. So it is really not what we need to introduce to fall asleep. Oftentimes it's what's in the way of our natural sleep, right? What is not working properly? Why can't we fall asleep, right? So if we can't do this easily and effortlessly, we really need to play detective and determine what's going on here. So just some quick tips from me on how you can relax. Taking a hot bath is always a good idea if you like to take baths, because the body gets heated up through the warm water, and then when it cools down after you get out, that is actually activating sleep hormones. So you might find that then all of a sudden you get tired and you can fall asleep better. So that's a good way to try out if that's your jam. Try and take hot baths. Also meditation, really, really beneficial if you can't fall asleep. Things like reading, family quality time, and I didn't mention TV on purpose, right? Try and design an evening routine that lets you relax and lets you get into a positive emotional and mental state. So don't discuss any problems with your partner or your kids, or try to solve long-standing conflicts. That's not what I mean. Just really try and carve out this time to have very relaxing activities, nothing that upsets you, so that your body can naturally calm down if you tend to be very worked up at the end of the day. And one thing that really made the difference for me is refrain from artificial lights. And so we all know to dim our lights at the end of the day, suggests to our body that it's getting dark and it's getting nighttime and releasing all these sleep hormones that we need. So that's all well, but especially recently, with all the changes that we had, kids staying home, learning from home, my computer time and my screen time has increased manifold, and it got later in the evening that I still needed to be on there. And yes, there are many ways, for example, to dim the screen, make it warmer, the display setting, you can make it warmer. But the fact is, if we're getting exposed to too much artificial light, and especially blue blocking light and blue lights and green lights, this is really messing with our sleep hormones. And that can be the biggest switch when people change for their sleep to improve, really to improve like a lot, right? So blue lights and green lights, not a good idea at the end of the day. They just don't release the melatonin, because they still think, the body still thinks that you're in the middle of the day and not at the end of the day. So sleep hormone melatonin doesn't get released. You don't feel tired. You stay longer on the screen, because what else should you do if you're not tired, right? You're watching TV, you're working, you're scrolling, whatever it is, right? You just keep doing this. So always our general advice is get off the screen at least an hour before you want to go to bed, and really define your routine differently, like with meditation, with reading, with dimmed lights. If you really say at this point, I'm not ready to make the change, I work on my screen or TV until I go to bed, I invite you to check out blue light blocking glasses. This works for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're an adult or a kid. Even with my kids, who now had to be on the screen for like 5 hours at least every day, sometimes 7, it's a really good idea to introduce these glasses. And they work really well for our family. And I've given you my suggestions in my blog post, the ones I use personally, the ones I like, and that will really help you with the sleep hormones, and that you can fall asleep better and faster. So there's another thing I want to show you, and those are these guys. And as you can see, they're red, and that's just because these ones, they don't let any blue or green light through. I don't recommend them if you work on the screen, because if you put them on, you see basically gray, black, white, that's it. So sometimes it's really hard to read anything on the screen during my experience. I put them on for you really quick. That's how they look. They look stylish, but actually right now all I see is gray, black, white, okay? But the reason why I like these so much is because they're like hormone savers. They really are. If you have long-standing insomnia, if you wake up several times during the night, I highly recommend you getting these type of glasses. These ones are for over-prescription glasses. We have bought them because sometimes in the evening I need my reading glasses. But you can get them also if you don't have any glasses. But these are really the ones I recommend highly to you to regulate your hormones when you want to go to sleep. So in your evening activities, when you're with your family with dimmed light, you have conversations, you play games, you listen to music, those are perfect. I put them on after dinner, even when I do the dishes, I put them on already to signal my body, hey, it's time to unwind. And the body really likes to see red lights and orange lights in the evening, right? It's the fire that we used to see was our only light source back in the day. And so that's what stimulates the melatonin for you to go to sleep. And I've also put the recommendation of these glasses on my blog post, so check that out. I highly recommend these types of glasses, blue blocking if you want to work, and these blue and green blocking glasses for the evening. and you will see it makes all the difference for your insomnia. So I hope this was of value to you. Post your comments below or your questions below. Let me know if you try out the glasses, and if you want to support me as a small business and you click on the link in my blog to buy them through me, that I would appreciate very much you helping me out. And so I will talk to you next week again, and we will talk a little bit more about sleep. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week. Post your questions, post your comments, and I will see you next week.